Hi there. And if you can guess which song starts with those two words, you're pretty cool. The song is Big Time by Peter Gabriel. Hi, my name is Jack Wallen, and I'm here to talk about things that matter to me, and I hope that they matter to you as well. I was going to talk about something else today, but you know how it goes. So two things inspired this little discussion. The first happened early last week when someone on social media, a very good friend of mine, posted a meme. Yay, memes. And the meme was essentially that this society isn't geared to support artists. The next thing that inspired this discussion was an article in our local paper. And the headline was something like, "Changes in Downtown and How They Are Going to Affect the City." So I started reading it, and the changes that they're talking about were that big businesses were leaving downtown for various and sundry reasons. But the surprise drive of the article was not how those changes were going to affect the city as a whole, but how they were going to affect the arts. Color me blown away that the local paper decided to focus on how something might negatively impact the arts. Wow. So those two things got my mind a-reeling. And when my mind goes a-reeling, things happen. So I started pondering things and pondering things and pondering things, and something came to mind. And I started digging in. Fact. The entertainment industry in the United States is valued at roughly $1 trillion. $1 trillion. And the exports of entertainment from the United States to other parts of the world is about $15 billion a year. 1 trillion and 15 billion. That's a lot of smackers, don't you think? Entertainment makes us a lot of money. But if the entertainment industry makes so much money, why is it that so many artists are struggling? Writers, actors, musicians, directors, dancers, choreographers, painters, sculptors, you name it, they're struggling. In fact, I can honestly say that I don't know of an artist that's doing well. We're all struggling. Each and every one of us. And I talk about this a lot. I have talked about this ad nauseum. But this time around, I have a theory. Now, before I get into this, I want to stress that I know this might sound conspiratorial, and maybe it is, but I'm not the type to spread conspiracies. I'm just not that person. Yes, I have some. I believe in that there are conspiracies out there. Roswell, maybe? Who knows? But I think this theory holds water. And it also happens to be in line with a theory of mine as to why America doesn't have universal health care. Oh, we're getting real deep into the woods now, aren't we? Let me explain. We're going to play a little game of what if. What if? What if it were possible for actors and writers, musicians, directors, choreographers, painters, sculptors, potterists? I can't think of the word for one who does pottery. You know what I mean. What if all of those people, artists as a whole, could make a living doing what they love in this country? Not just make a living, but make a comfortable living doing what they love in this country, what would happen? I'll give you a moment to think about that. Have you thought about it? Let me put this idea into your brain, as my muse might put the idea of a good book into my head. Yikes. So, we've set up the what if. Every artist in the country could make a comfortable living doing what they love. If that were the case, they would no longer do what they didn't love. In other words, if they found out that it was possible for them to make a living at the artistic medium of their choosing, they would stand up from their chair, walk away from their cubicle, and say goodbye to that big business and never look back. Now think about it. How many artists are there in this country? In the sum total of artists, hundreds of thousands, millions? I don't know the number, but there's got to be a whole big bunch of them. And what if each and every one of them walked out of their job, walked out of their day job and said, "Bye-bye, sayonara, see ya later, sucker." Business would have a bit of trouble on their hands. They would have trouble rehiring people because all of a sudden the pool of workers would start to shrink because all the artists could do their art and wouldn't need day jobs to make a living. Oh my God. Now, I'm not saying that every business thinks that way. But maybe somewhere in the recesses of their hyper-productive minds, that thought has crossed the synapses of their brain. And it might scare them. And it could be, possibly, I don't know, part of the reason why more and more businesses are pulling their funding out of arts. It is happening everywhere. I've seen it in this town in which I live. Businesses are no longer funding artistic endeavors. They just don't. And if they do, the amount of money that they're giving is a pittance to what it once was. Now, of course, that could be because profits are low and shareholders are going, "I need my cut." Who knows? But if we could all make a living doing what we love, we certainly wouldn't do what we hate. And that is in line with my theory about why we don't have universal health care. Because if we had universal health care, so many people wouldn't be dependent upon their day jobs just to have insurance. And they would be able to maybe, I don't know, start their own business, do something else that they love. Who knows? But it's worth thinking about. I know, I understand that job security is no longer a thing. When I was young, my father, may he rest in peace, was a fireman for 40 years. He knew that job would always be there. Knew it. Absolutely knew it. There was no doubt. And I've known other people from that generation who knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that their job would always be there. Today, truth be told, I don't know a single person who feels that secure in their job. Every job could be a shareholder's greed away from being gone. And I think about that a lot. And I've reached a point in my life, in my age, and of all the things that I have done where I finally realized that if I had to pivot once again, that I would have to pivot to something that I was passionate about. Because at my age, I couldn't, it's not like I could go, okay, the writing gig isn't working anymore, so I'm just going to have to go to middle management. I would rather cut off my tongue, sear it in a pan, and eat it with a Chianti and fava beans. I want, more than anything, to be an artist. That's who I am to my core. There has not been any doubt since the 80s, and that's a long time to be absolutely certain about something. And yeah, I have to do other things to make ends meet. I'm very fortunate that the other things that I do happen to be writing nonfiction. So I am a full-time writer between nonfiction and fiction. But I'm telling you what, if I could go back to acting, if I could go back to making a living as an actor, I would do it like that. Because that is my first artistic passion. Now, I do have my project, the super secret project that is no longer super secret, which is actually called the Me and My Muse series, in the works. And as an update for that, the second episode is written and it is fantastic, if I may say so. And I have ideas. I have some wonderful ideas coming up. Here, let me give you an example. The other day, when I was a little kid, it was a long time ago when I was a little kid, and I don't know if you remember, but there was a TV show and a 50s musical group called Sha Na Na. And I loved Sha Na Na. Loved them. I loved Bowser. On a side note, John Bousman and I follow each other on Twitter, and he's a political activist. He's really sharp, and he's a really good guy. But I loved him. I loved his character, that big open mouth, and it was just so much fun. And my dad used to sing those songs to me all the time. And so I have a very special place in my heart for that music. And the other day, I saw a video of Sha Na Na singing I Wonder Why, which Sha Na Na did very well. He used to sing that song to me all the time. And I heard that song, and as I was listening to that song, an idea popped in my head for a scene for Me and My Muse that's probably going to be, I think, in the third episode. And when I thought of this scene, I couldn't stop laughing. Because I thought of me and Keith McGill, who's going to play the Muse, doing that scene. And I came to life. It was wonderful. And I can't wait to make it happen. So, yeah, Me and My Muse is happening. I still haven't figured out the home yet. It's been narrowed down to 2 places, I think. And one of them is a definite, and I'm still waiting to hear back from the other one. And if hopefully, I'm not going to say hopefully for either one, but it's going to happen. And it's going to be something really special. And it's something that is so special to me that I'm hoping that I can build it into something even bigger. Yeah. Fingers crossed. But anyway, back to the original subject at hand, I guess. The thing is that I can throw a rock outside and know that I'm going to hit somebody willing to drop $20 for 2 people to go see a movie. 2-3 hour movie. So $10 a piece, basically. And that's here in a town where things are cheap. Go to New York or LA or somewhere like that, and it's probably doubled. Why is it? Why is it that those same people who are willing to spend $10, $20 on a 2 or 3 our event or pay $100, $200 a month for access to television programming? Why is it that those people aren't willing to drop $2 or $3 on a book to support a writer they don't know that could entertain them for days or weeks? You see, the entertainment industry has the product as a whole, not just one product. It has a product as a sum total of these products that people want to support. And at the top, you have movies and TV, and then you have music, and then it just starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Till at the very bottom, you have, I don't know what the least supported artistic endeavor is in the country, but those people are getting nothing. So maybe it's time, as a society, that we start to redistribute the funds to other artistic endeavors. So maybe instead of going to see a movie this week, you might, I don't know, buy a book or two from a writer you've never heard of. Because that's the kind of gift that keeps on giving. Because you buy that one book from that writer, and that writer's going to be absolutely thrilled. And you never know that that might kick off someone else buying the book. You might buy that book, read it, love it, tell one of your friends, they buy it, they read it, they love it, and the domino effect keeps going on and on. In fact, I told my publisher this week that I firmly believe it is all about the right person reading the right book at the right time. And that could launch an author's career. And it all started with a $2 or $3 purchase. So what do you say, people? Are you with me? Are you ready to support the arts in ways that you might not have ever supported the arts before? Because it is a big, big industry, and it makes a whole lot of money. It makes so much money that it makes you wonder why the government and businesses aren't willing to support it, unless you believe in my little theory. Anyway, that's all I have to say today. It was a mouthful. I hope I didn't upset anybody out there. Really, this is just me thinking out loud and me wanting to share my thoughts with you. And who knows, maybe the butterfly effect will take hold, and the words that I have said will affect some kind of positive change for artists everywhere, because ultimately that's what I'm here to do, to help and hopefully to make things better for everyone. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. If you've enjoyed this, please share it with somebody who you think might enjoy it as well or might benefit from it. Subscribe to this channel if you like. I'm not trying to make any money from this. I'm just trying to help. Thank you very much, and I hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful, wonderful day.